In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to open a Photoshop file inside of After Effects. Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJam, and here we are already inside of After Effects 2023. And the first thing you want to do to open your Photoshop file inside of After Effects is to import it. So you can do that by going to File and then Import and then File, or you can just find your Photoshop file on your computer and then just drag it in. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something. The Photoshop file that we're going to be animating inside of After Effects, you can download it for free in this video's description. I forgot to mention it and I'm sorry. And if at any point in this video I keep saying Illustrator instead of After Effects, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying Illustrator. I'm sorry. Now back to it. So I have my file right here. I'm just going to drag it into After Effects, and then this is the interesting part. So you see here it says import kind, and I want to choose composition, retain layer sizes. I don't want After Effects to do anything else for me, and I want it also for the layers that I did in Photoshop. I want them to remain as editable layers. I don't want it to merge it for me. So with those two options selected, all I'm going to do next is click OK. And it's going to import it for me, and here we have our composition right here. And the first thing you can do to open this is just double click on it, and you get all of your layers here, which are tracks in Illustrator, but in After Effects, sorry, not Illustrator, but these are all our Photoshop layers, right? You see we have our text layers here. If you turn it off, you can see what's happening there. And if I right click on all the text, or if I select all the text first and foremost, let me select everything that's text, then I can right click on it and click create and then convert to editable text. And now I can double click on them and add more text to them. See that? So that's a cool thing that you can do. So first I want to go ahead and just save this by hitting Control Shift and S, and let's just name it LSPV Photoshop to After Effects. All right, and then save. And before we jump into this tutorial, I discovered this free plugin that you guys can use to level up your After Effects creation. Yes, it's completely free, and I've been using it for about 4 years now. It's called Animation Composer by Mr. Horse. Now, this video isn't sponsored by Mr. Horse, but as I said, I've been using it for 4 years going on 5, and I think it's so cool. So if you look right here in my After Effects window, you'll see that I have this tab open that says Animation Composer, and in here I can get some starter presets, which is the free pack that I just mentioned. And you have transitions for 2D layers, transitions for 3D layers. You can see what all of the transitions are doing here, and you can apply these to any element that we have here. So check out the link in this video's description that says Animation Composer by Mr. Horse, and download the free plugin and add it to your After Effects. You'll see in this tutorial how cool it is and how much it will level up your editing. All right, so let's continue. So the first thing that I want to edit here is I want to probably move some of the text around, right? Let me just set this to half. Yeah, that looks better. Hold on. Let's have it fit the screen. Yeah, so the first thing I want to do is probably move some of the text around just to animate them, or let's just actually move Modric around first. This is photo, so I want to just like let the photo come in at the start of the video like so, you know, just a nice little move in, right? So what I'm going to do is hit P on my keyboard for my position keyframes, and then right here you see this little stopwatch right here. That's how you activate the keyframe, and this is where I want him to end up after he's moved in at the beginning of the video. So let me move this further down in my timeline, because remember, that's where I want him to end up, right? And then let me move him a little bit over to the left now by using my X coordinates, which is the 925 right here, and then let me just drag this over like so. Let me hit Control and S to save. Now let's hit play by hitting spacebar and see what happens. So see that he will just move over a little bit, and if I were to extend the last keyframe, like bring it further out, you'd see that the animation lasts a little bit longer. See that? That's what I want, and that looks cool. And we're just going to leave that as is. The next thing we can edit is the Croatian logo, the Croatia football logo. Let me just move this over right here so you guys can see it. Let me actually just shrink Animation Composer a little bit for now. All right, so here's the Croatian logo, right? The Football Federation logo. what I'm going to be doing to this is, remember I mentioned the animation composer. So what I'm going to do is go over to the starter presets. Let's add a transition on a 2D layer, and then let's just have it bounce in like so, right? So the name of this one is bounce. Let me just move this over. Oops. Let me just bring it over some more. So the name of this one is, actually I don't need to see all of this. All right, so the name of this one is bounce and scale from anchor point, and you also have one down here that says overshoot from anchor point, and I really like that one. I tend to use it a lot. And all you have to do to use these free presets is just click on the element in your timeline here and just come right here and click in, and it will add it as an in transition for you. So you will see that at the beginning of your video, that's how the Croatia logo will come in. So let's go ahead and press play and look right here what's going to happen. See that? The Croatia logo just bounced in, right? See that? How cool is that? And let me just go back to full scale where I can see everything. So remember, he's gonna just slide in like that at the beginning, but I don't want the Croatia logo to come in like right at the beginning. I want it to come in after he's slid in, maybe halfway, because the first thing that I want to be moving on the screen is Modric, right? His photo. So to see that, I moved it further down in the timeline. All I did was just click on it and just move it down some like so, right? And you can just right click on all your tracks. You see how all of these tracks have the same color? You can just right click on it and just change the color so you can tell them different, right? The Hvala and the Hrvatska. The Hrvatska means Croatia, the Hvala means thank you. Let me just give them the same label, the same color, because the same color because they're the same text, same font size, right? Let's just change the colors of the Luka. That's unique. It's by itself. Let's use orange. The Modric, and the Modric. Let's give the two top ones the same label. Let's give the blue one a different label. The 10, let's give the number 10 or the 10 a different label. Let's do aqua. And then the background image, this right here, you can see that this image right here, let's give that a different label just to like really differentiate everything rather easily. We have this red diagonal line here. Let's give that a different label. What did I just do? Oops. Let's give that a different label. Green. What else can I do here? And that's fine. We can tell everything differently for the most part, right? And if I wanted to delete this color fill and actually use like a solid color that After Effects has, you know, which is the right way to do it, all I have to do is go to layer and then new solid and just change this to white. And I have a white solid, and I can just delete this color fill that I brought over from Photoshop, right? All right, so there we are. We've labeled our elements, Control and S to save everything that we just did. Now we can go ahead and animate some of the text, right? So let's go ahead and do the Modric's, the three Modrics that we have. Let's go ahead and just go over to our animation composer. Let's go ahead and do transition on a text layer, right? And we want to animate the lines. You can do characters, words, or lines. Let's see what they have here. I want it to just push in from like behind the number 10. So maybe I have to do words. Is it words? Characters? Let's see what I have for characters. You have so many options here. All right, let's do scale characters from start. And all I have to do is just click in. Wait, is that the blue one? Yes, that is the blue one. Oops, I labeled it incorrectly. You know what? Let me actually change the label just to be organized, because I'm all about organization. Let's check. Oh, that pink. It's fuchsia, right? Where is it? All right, there we are. So now we have that one coming in from the beginning, the start of the text. Let's do the other two, but let's have it come in from the end of the text, right? So let me find that same preset and let's just do it from the end and click in, right? As you can see, if I go back here, you see I have two options, but with this is a menu icon. I have from start and then from end. Let's collapse all our layers and just go back to the beginning, press play. And you can see what we have here, right? How cool is that? Then if you want it to happen quicker, what you can do is you just move, you see this right here that says the transition in. If you were to pull it back like so, the transitions will happen quicker, right? See that? That's all you have to do. Let me just go back to the beginning and press play, and look at that. It happened quicker than he even slid in. It happened even quicker than the Croatia logo popped up on screen. How cool is that? And then let me just add like a simple straightforward fade on the 10. Let me just come back to animation on a text layer, or I can just use it as a 2D layer and just add like a fade, right? Just add a fade, a cubic, an in fade. That way it just fades in. That's pretty straightforward. We don't have to go too crazy with that, right? But you can see that you have so many options here under just this starter preset, right? So let's go ahead and hit play and see what we have. See that? The number 10 faded in, and if I wanted it to fade in a little bit slower, all I have to do is find the transition in, this TR in, and just move it further down in the timeline, and you can see it's taking a little while longer to fade in, right? See that? But let's say I want Modric to start fading in before his name pops up 3 times. Let me just find all the names right here and just move it down in the timeline. So let's press play. See that? How cool is that? Maybe for the number 10 as well. I don't want it to fade in too soon before his photo actually starts to move, right? Let's go ahead to the beginning. All right, let's move the Modric's. That's always so funny. Let's move it down some more. All right, now we're looking good. No, Control and S to save. And because we have all of these words, Modric, and they're the same thing, all I'm going to do is, like I have them selected here, right click on them and click pre-compose, and let's just name it Modric text, right? Text times 3. That way we know what it is, and just click OK. And now you will see it right here. If we turn that group off, that pre-composition off, it's there, right? And if you wanted to go back in and make changes, all you have to do is just click right here, and there you are, right? So now that we have that out of the way, all we have to do next is just animate the Vala and the Hrvatska, and then let's make them like drop down, right? So let's make the Vala drop, well, let's make it move up, right? Let me see. So let's do that one up, and then let's do the Hrvatska down if we want. Let me see what we have here. Back in our animation composer, let's do animate. I know the one I want. I'm just not seeing it yet. This is the one I want. So it's just gonna pop up from the bottom on the top. All right, so we have the Hrvatska here. Let me add it here as an in and see what I got. Press play. All right, that's cool. So that fell down, right? That's cool. Let's go back to the Vala, and then let's do it from the bottom, and let's do it as an in as well and see what we got. All right, so the Vala popped up from the bottom, starting at the end of the text. The Hrvatska did the opposite from the beginning of the text, right? And now all we have left to animate is the Luka, because that's his first name. All right, so that's looking good, right? Look how cool is that? Control and S to save. And then what do I want to do to the Luka? Let's have the Luka just slide out from behind the 10. Why not? Let's do that. So let me hit P for my position. Let me hit a keyframe there with my stopwatch. Let me bring it back. Let me go to the beginning of the Luka. Let's move it down so that when the number 10 comes on completely, the Luka just slides out from behind it. How cool is that? So here I have my standard keyframe. This is the normal position of the Luka. But let's go back a little bit and let's just have the Luka just like slide from behind the number 10 like so. Let me show you what that was. Let me undo that, Control and Z. And then let me just adjust the X coordinates here. See that? I'm just moving it behind the number 10. And this line is just showing you the movement of that layer. Let me just add a little keyframe assistant, easy ease, keyframe assistant, easy ease. And then let me zoom back out and see what I have. Go to the beginning, press spacebar to play. And how cool is that? I actually want Modric, the main photo, to start moving before the video starts to play. I want the video to start to play and he's already moving. So all I have to do is just take his track right here, the photo track. I'm literally pointing at the screen and you can't even see it. I'm just moving this beyond the starting of the timeline. See that? Control and Z to undo. Pay attention to this keyframe. I'm just moving it a little bit to the left. That way, when I press play, Control and S to save first. When I press spacebar to play, he's already moving. See that? He's already moving. And then where's the Luca? See, the Luca comes out from behind the 10. Let's pay attention to what happened there. Spacebar to play. The Luca comes out, but it comes out a little bit too late. It comes out after everything had already stopped moving. So that's not what I want. See, the Luca is nowhere to be seen. So let me just shorten the Luca here in my timeline, like so. And then let's bring it back so it comes out after the 10 comes on screen. But I don't want it to come out too early because you see, remember, the 10 is being faded in. So if the Luca comes out too early like it is right here, you can tell that it's there, right? But I don't want that. I want it to come out right as the 10 is fully on screen, like 100% opacity. That way nobody will know where it's coming from. So it's still too early. Let me go back some more. So about there, just a little bit. All right, that works. That works. Let me go back to the beginning and see what I got. Control and S to save. And now I can play it by hitting spacebar. Oh, the Luca takes a little while to come out. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I mean, you can do something else with this, but I'm just showing you the capabilities that you have to animate your Photoshop file. And for this little red diagonal line, what I can do is I can just like give it a little rotation keyframe. So here's our diagonal line. Let me hit R for my rotation keyframes and coordinates. We go to the beginning, add a keyframe, move it further down because that's where I want it to end up. And let me just add a little bit of rotation counterclockwise. So it will do like a full rotation before it goes back to where it's supposed to be. Let's do minus 180. So it will do like that's a full rotation. No, that's not a full rotation, but it will do like a little thing, right? Let me go ahead and press play. But that rotation is way too fast. See that? I want it to last a little bit longer. So let's just drag out the second keyframe where it's supposed to end up, point A to point B. I just dragged out the point B keyframe, right? Press play. And that looks much, much better, right? But let's also add a little fade to it from Animation Composer. That way it just like fades on a little bit. See that? It just like fades. Oops. It just fades on. See that? Let's bring it back. Let's move the fade further down so the fade lasts a little bit longer. And then let's hit Control and S to save. And let's hit play. And there we are. How cool is that? We've animated every single element in this artwork, except we haven't animated this the photo, the background image. This photo right here, all I have to do is just add a little fade. I don't need to do anything too crazy. Oops, I have to select the layer, background image, add an in fade, and there we are. Let's hit Control and S, and then let's hit play and see what we have, right? How cool is that? There we have our neat little animation, and all I have to do next is just go ahead and save this and make it ready for social media. So what I'm going to do is hit Control and M, or I'm going to go to File and then Export, and I can add it to render queue or add it to media encoder. Let's just add it to render queue because they updated it. And all I have to do is just choose high quality, choose the output module as in the type of file that I want. And I want an MP4, which is H.264 at 15 megabits per second. That's fine. And I can give the file a name, output to. All you have to do is just click on this right here and and then you can give it a name. Let's name it Luka Modric wallpaper. It's already there because it will get the name of our sequence, and then you can click save, and let me just click render to show it to you, and Illustrator will work for you and it will save the entire project for you into a video file that you can share on social media, share on your website, wherever you want, or even here on YouTube. So have you ever imported a Photoshop file into After Effects to edit every single element to get a cool animation from your graphic designs? Let me know in the comments below, and based off of everything that we've done here today, how confident are you to get started with taking your graphic designs to the next step by animating them? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to check out more Adobe After Effects tutorials, click right at the screen to check out my Adobe After Effects playlist here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.